Now, I was today years old when I learned about this concept, and let me tell you, it's like finding the missing piece of a puzzle you've been working on for weeks. In this video, I'm pulling back the curtain on the winter arc, the secret key Gen X never knew was under their nose all along. But stick around, because what if everything you've been taught about starting the new year off strong and the sneaky cause why common New Year's resolutions might be holding you back and setting you up to fail? Not cool. So what you're about to hear just might change how you approach not only the new year, it could possibly turn everything you thought you knew upside down. Did you know that 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by February? Surprised? Me too. But what if I told you there's a reason why? I got you, because later in this video, I'll share a simple 5-step winter arc strategy that could change the way you approach your entire year and possibly discover how to change your life. Now, as a Globetrotter flight attendant for 25 years and counting, I've touched down in 41 countries and I've seen my fair share of seasons. But this is something completely new to me, but it makes total sense. If we're just meeting, hey beautiful, I'm Michelle, your FairyJoyMother, and this channel is dedicated to helping you escape the pips, procrastination, imposter syndrome, and perfectionism so you can live a joylicious life with grace and ease. What if you realize that winter isn't just a season that causes depression and gloom, but could be a mindset or a joy set? Now hear me out, because for so many of us Gen Xers, we've been conditioned to think of winter as something to endure, a time to hunker down, push through, and wait for spring. But what if winter is actually where the magic happens? Remember the TV show Living Single, when Sinclair would hit you with her signature woo woo woo, and it kind of made everything seem better? Now here's where this winter arc comes into play to make you feel better. It was coined by TikToker Carly Burgess, and forgive me if I mispronounce her name, but it's a fabulous idea that aligns perfectly with my JoyGlo season. Here's the thing, if you ignore your winter arc, you risk staying stuck in a cycle of burnout and frustration. Think about it. Why do we set New Year's goals without ever addressing the baggage we're carrying from last year? It's like trying to run a marathon in stilettos. Glamorous, but super impractical. The winter arc is about embracing rest as an act of rebellion against hustle culture. It's about giving yourself permission to pause and reflect so that when spring does arrive, you're ready to bloom. So here's my question for you. What would happen if you stop running from winter and start leaning into it instead? That's what the winter arc is all about. It's not just a trend, it's a lifestyle shift that Gen X and others has been unknowingly craving. We've been conditioned to hit the ground running every January, haven't we? New year, new me, blah, blah, blah. But can I be real for a minute? How many times have we crashed and burned by Valentine's Day? The Winter Arc Challenge says, if it could talk, hold up beautiful, what if we took it slow and steady? Here's the tea. January is not the best time to set those big life-changing goals. What? I know, it sounds crazy, right? But think about it. We're coming off the holiday high. It's cold and dark. And if you're in a part of the world that gets cold and dark, our bodies are practically begging for us to hibernate. The winter arc suggests we use this downtime for reflection and gentle planning instead of diving headfirst into drastic change. So let's flip the script. What if instead of forcing ourselves to hit the gym at 5 a.m. in freezing temperatures, we use January to dream and scheme? Imagine curling up with a warm cup of cocoa and journaling about what you really want to manifest this year. Doesn't it sound more appealing than beating yourself up over broken resolutions, broken promises, and broken dreams? Beautiful. Comment below the word cozy if you are ready to embrace this winter arc concept. Now you might be wondering, Michelle, how does this tie into a joylicious life? Well, let me tell you, it's like they were made for each other. The winter arc motivation aligns perfectly with your JoyGlo season. It's all about giving yourself permission to bloom slowly, just like nature intended. Now, when I first moved to Connecticut from Barbados at 8 years old, talk about culture shock. I went from endless summer to my first real winter. At first, I didn't like it, but then I noticed something magical. I love the way how things just magically came back to life in spring. And that's what the winter arc and JoyGlo season are all about, embracing the natural rhythm of life. Now let's chat about those typical New Year's goals for a second. You know the ones: lose weight, save money. But here's the kicker. What if we've been doing it all wrong? Now imagine you're on a plane and the pilot announces, "Folks, we're going to take off before we finish our pre-flight checks because it's January 1st. Sounds crazy, right? But that's exactly what we do with our lives every New Year's Day. The winter arc suggests we use January as our pre-flight check. It's time to fuel up, check our instruments, and make sure we are ready for takeoff. This isn't about procrastination, it's about preparation. And let me tell you, as someone who's battled perfectionism, this approach is a game changer. Now, if this is resonating with you, type pre-flight in the comments. I want to hear your thoughts. Now, I know what you're thinking. Michelle, this sounds great, but I've got things to do. Trust me, I get it. As a flight attendant, wife, and recovering perfectionist, I am no stranger to a packed schedule. But here's what I learned. Sometimes slowing down is the fastest way to get where you want to go. So let's talk about the power of patience. In my long time relationship with my best friend Sam, who's also my high school sweetheart and my husband, I've learned that the best things in life take time to develop. The winter arc is all about applying that same principle to personal growth. Here's a mind bender for you. What if rushing towards your goals is actually slowing you down? And the winter arc is about taking it slow to set yourself up for massive success later in the year and using it as a catalyst to change your life. Let's jump back in time to living single again. Can you tell I love this show? I still watch the reruns. Think back to when Khadijah was hustling so hard, but the solution was always right there, right in front of her, right under her nose. And this is the secret key that has been hiding under your nose all along. You have to slow down to go fast. Think of it like planting a garden. You don't expect seeds to bloom overnight, do you? Nope. You nurture them, give them time, and suddenly, bam, you've got a joylicious paradise in your backyard. And that's what we're doing with our lives during the winter arc. If you're loving this garden analogy, comment bloom below. Let's grow this community together. So beautiful. How do we make the winter arc work for us? It's simple. Here's my simple 5-step winter arc strategy you can use right now. And resist the urge to discount the power of simplicity, okay? Number 1, give yourself permission to slow down this January. Next at number 2 is to use this time for reflection, planning, and self-care. In third place is to set gentle intentions rather than harsh resolutions. And fourth on the list is to align your goals with your natural rhythm so that you can step into your JoyGlo season. And finally, number 5 is to absolutely trust the process and know that you're setting yourself up for the joylicious life in the year ahead. Remember, this is not about putting your dreams on hold. It's about giving them time and the space they need to fully form. It's like marinating homemade salsa. The longer you let those flavors develop, the more amazing the result. My mouth is almost watering just thinking about the salsa. So, are you inspired to embrace the winter arc? If the answer is a resounding yes, then I want you to remember one thing. You are exactly where you need to be right now. No comparing yourself to others. Whether you're cuddled up with a good book or watching a movie or slowly working toward your dreams, you're in your winter arc, and that's a beautiful thing. Now, if this convo gave you the permission to just be, you absolutely must watch this next video. I'm going to reveal why the American dream might just be history's biggest heist, and more importantly, how you can rewrite your own dreams for a truly joylicious life. Smooches.